All right, welcome everybody to the call today. We are so excited and honored to have a team of diamonds that are going to share some of the things that they have learned along the way. They're going to share their stories, including myself, how we came to where we are, our different strengths and our characteristics and our personalities and how that played into how we built our business. Because what we really want you all to understand is that you do not have to fit into one type of mold to be a diamond, that everybody has their own journey, everyone has their own way, and everyone can be successful in their own way. And so from our hearts to yours, that's what we really want to share with you today. And I'm so grateful that Liz, Stephanie, Amy, were willing to take their time and get on this call and share with us their very, very valuable insights that they have learned along the way. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to Amy Paul. She's going to start with us because she's almost home and she's excited to be home visiting her family. And so we want to go ahead and let her go first and release her so she can get to visiting her family. So take it away, Amy.
Hi, guys. Can y'all hear me okay? Yes? Okay. If you can't, just hold your hand up if, because I'm in the bus and the reception is not that great. I'm actually sitting on the router right now, like right beside it, hoping that I keep reception as we're driving. But I am a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and I am actually under Elizabeth Spohn, and then her husband Carl, then Stephanie, then me, then Brooke, and then it continues down. And so I feel super honored that I was able to be on this call with these guys, because if it wasn't for Stephanie and Carl and Liz and the people that went before them, I wouldn't be here. And so it's very important to remember and be grateful, especially this Thanksgiving season, to be super grateful and thankful for the people that have come before us, that are pioneers in this field. You know, Liz has been with this company. She'll go in her journey, but a long time. So I think she's some things. So it's always great listening and learning from other people. Okay, so as y'all can tell, and most of y'all know me on this call, I love people. I'm very personable. I don't meet a stranger ever. I really, truly, I volunteered at nursing homes just to listen to the elderly people's stories. I really, really love people. And I love hearing about people's lives and from the time they're a baby on up. So for me, when I started Plexus, it was easy because I just talked about relationships. I just really loved my friends. And because I'm super passionate about the products, because I have such a strong belief in the business opportunity, I was able to tell people about this. Brooke Hemingway scared me. Because she was so smart and her husband so smart, and because she was well connected in the community, she scared me. But most people do not scare me. I'm not intimidated easily, so that worked in my favor. I'm an extrovert. I am not an introvert. I never meet a stranger. I feel super passionate, super confident, pretty much in all areas of my life. So for me, talking to people was easy. It's easy for me to talk to strangers. What is not easy for me is having compassion on other people and their differences. So see how I'm super honest? I can see myself for who I am. So for me, this business has been harder when it comes to that. Because if I sign up somebody that's not like me, I tend to get irritated. I tend to be like, why are they not doing this? Why are they not doing it like me? Why are they not this or that? And so I've had to grow as a leader. So as a diamond, it's very important that you realize that not everyone is like you. It is very important to have people on your team that are detail oriented, because I'm just not. I hate details. People that are ingredient gurus like Stephanie that know everything about products. It's important to have people like Liz Spohn on there that just loves everyone and makes you feel very loved by her. So it's very important that you bring all aspects into into your team. That's how you're successful. So I truly believe that I got to Diamond because I saw worth in other people, and I chose people that were better than me. When I look at people on this call that are on my team, I see people that are better than me in all areas of life. I see people that, I was afraid to reach out to. I look at Bonnie. I see her on here. What a sweet girl. Oh my goodness. And Bonnie had fears, but I never had that fear, And so all of us have different fears and different things that motivate us. My fear was pride. You can ask Stephanie. I had a hard time posting on social media. I didn't want my friends and family to think I was scamming them. So my pride held me back. So me growing as a leader in this business, me learning some things about myself helped me become diamond. So some tips I would say to you that I've learned, throughout this business in the past 2.5 years is love people and love them where they're at. Okay, love them where they're at. They're not going to be you, and just love them for who they are, and be there for them. Do not drag anyone. The people that want this business will work with you. They're not working for you. You're not their boss. And truthfully, guys, your downline should not expect much of you either, because it's their own business too. And so all of us should just be working together. So just be super passionate, believe in the products, work your business every day. Brooke will talk about how hard she worked, but seriously, guys, she did not work in the nooks and crannies of her life. She sacrificed. She worked long hours, and that is what I did. I worked very long hours for the first 2 years of this business. I would say on average, I worked about 6 to 8 hours a day. That's better than a regular job, but I wanted this. So how bad do you want this? How bad and how strong is your why that you want this so bad that you're willing to sacrifice, your spouse's time, your kids' time, being not the Pinterest mom, or all of that thing. What are you willing to sacrifice? Because look at us right now. This is the genealogy of our Plexus family tree, and it all started in a small church in Alaska that we all went to for 10 years. That's how it started, and that's how it grew. And I'm super excited and blessed to even be a part of our team. But I just want you to know, I'm getting off and passing this over, but I want you to know that if I could leave you with anything, it's to love people where they're at. They're not all cookie cutters, and to go after people that are better than you, that you look up to. I looked up to Brooke. I thought, man, Brooke is an amazing woman of character. I would love to have her on my team. Look up to people, and those are the people you want on your team. So thank you so much. And
hey, Amy, really quick, you talked about sacrificing and how you did work long hours and you sacrificed. I think sometimes people are afraid of that, or that it won't be worth it. Will you just tell us really quick, what it has meant to your life and what it has done for your family?
Okay, I'm scrolling to see you. I can't even find your face, but I heard you. Okay, so what it's meant for our oh, there you are. Yay, hi, Brooke. Okay, so what it's meant for our family is we lived on the small island of Kauai. We did the Dave Ramsey budget. I'm sure a lot of you have done that. We lived out of envelopes. I budgeted everything, and I could not go on a vacation for 9 people without saving for a long time. And now, as y'all all know, we're traveling the country in a 45-foot bus. We are completely debt-free. We travel around the country in our bus, and our kids have now seen 30 different states. My husband is fully retired from car sales, which is a very hardcore business that made him tired at night, made him sort of agitated, and now he gets to come home and spend that time with his family. So the sacrifice was worth it for me. And I will tell you right now, if you're a silver or a gold ambassador, you might not think it's worth it. You might not see the sacrifice, but if you look at my life, if you look at Stephanie's life, if you look at Brooke's life, and you just trust and believe in us, if you just allow us to, just put a little faith in us, guys, because we are not going to lead you astray. We love each of you. The people that are on our team, we love, and we reached out to because we love you. So have faith in us that it is so worth it, and it is so doable, because, guys, Brooke didn't have faith in the beginning. No faith. Ask her. She'll tell you. And she kept saying, Amy, is this really worth it? And she believed in me. Every time she had doubt, she would say, Amy, is this really worth it? And I'd say, yes, Brooke, we can do this. We can do this. And she had faith. And she was willing on those hard times when somebody told her it wasn't worth it. She was willing to reach out and get encouragement from people on her team, people in her close inner circle, like all of us on this team. And guys, it's worth it. Look at everything. My husband and I are both diamonds. That tells you, the amount of income that has changed for our family.
Thank you so much, Amy. I appreciate you taking the time to be on this call, even while you're driving in the middle of nowhere. Thank you so much. So I'm going to I love you too. So we're going to keep climbing up the genealogy. So I enrolled under Eric, who's under Amy, and then Amy enrolled under Stephanie. So I'm going to turn the time over to Stephanie, and we're going to hear a little bit about her journey, when she joined, how her journey went, things that she has learned.
Hey guys. So thank you, Brooke and Emily, for putting this call together. It's always so fun when we get to like actually talk and train as a team, because there's been so many hours and time that we've been behind the scenes, IMing and Zooming, just us 3 and 4. And so to be able to train our teams now, it's just so exciting to see the end result of the work, of the effort. I remember doing a very, very first Zoom with Brooke and Amy last year, and just seeing the possibilities of what could happen with her, and now to see it come to fruition, it is such a blessing. Like to know that I was part of something like this that has changed literally thousands of people. It is so worth it. It is so awesome. So anyway, I was introduced to Plexus. It's almost my 1-year anniversary. December 1st of 2013 is when I joined. But I was introduced a few months before that by Elizabeth Spohn. And she had told me about this new pink drink that she's doing that helps with diabetes and blood sugar balancing. And I was really not interested. I was with another company at the time, and I thought, okay, well, that's nice. And maybe, this sounds like a little scammy young company. Maybe I should come join my company. Kind of a reversal there, because now, 3 years later, I am a Diamond Ambassador under Elizabeth. But she started it all just by being a friend. She did not shove her business down my throat. When I had questions, she would share. And so that is one thing that is really great about Liz, is that she is definitely a people person. Like when you're talking with her, like you have her full attention. She is paying attention to what you are saying. She makes people feel important. So that is something that you guys need to learn to do. Don't listen to respond, listen to hear. So anyway, I finally, long story short, I joined in December, didn't decide to work the business until February. I was one of those like horrible ambassadors, okay? Like I got my welcome pack, turned my auto ship off. I didn't even take the products for like 2 months, and I was just giving it to my husband. Because I was nursing, I was like, okay, I'll just start this gradually. And so finally I pulled it out of the closet. I'm like, okay, I'm sick of struggling. This is why I bought this. I just need to do it. And so I started taking it and being consistent. When I started, and Liz kept telling me, share on Facebook. I'm sure there's other people that want what you have. And I was like, no. And just to give you a little background about my social media presence, it was pretty much zilch, okay? I had about 100 friends. I posted maybe 3 or 4 times a year. When I did my daughter's birth announcement, I got 11 likes, okay? So we're talking nothing. So I couldn't just start posting about Plexus because, I never posted on social media in the first place. So I really had to be intentional with building my audience, building my brand on social media, and then start introducing Plexus. So that was February when I decided to work the business. And I still wouldn't even say then that I had gone like committed full all in. I would say that happened after I got stagnant when I was a senior gold. And I had to do a lot of learning there, a lot of personal development. So I decided to do the business. I joined December 13, decided to do the business in February. I went silver in February. Then in March, I went gold. And then end of June, I went senior gold. And I stayed senior gold until March of 2015. So almost a whole year. I was senior gold. And I had gotten to that point where I was like, okay, I'd heard somebody say, oh yeah, once you get to gold, senior gold, it really starts picking momentum up. And so I was kind of like sitting back like, okay, what's happening here? Something's going to start moving. And I had to learn that the speed of the team, the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. If you are not doing your own work, don't expect your team to be doing it. So if you're stuck in some place, you need to quit looking at your team and you need to do personal looking at yourself and be like, okay, being honest with me, how much personal development time am I doing? How much am I really actually truly being intentional about meeting new people, reaching out? Am I a negative person? Ask someone around you. If you don't think you're negative, ask some of your closest friends. They'll give you an honest answer, okay? Because sometimes we don't see ourselves clearly. So when you feel like you're stuck, look at yourself. When you feel like you're not rank advancing, look at yourself. It's the same products, the same compensation plan. We all have done it. You can too. The only variable in this is you. So anyway, so senior gold, I had to learn a lot. And then in March, I went Ruby. And then April, I went senior Ruby. Then October, I went Emerald, and then almost back to back, I went Sapphire and Diamond in March and May of this year. So anyway, it was about 2.5 years from when I joined Plexus to going Diamond. Some things I've learned along the way. About me, my personality. I am not a social butterfly in the slightest bit. My sister-in-law, I can remember we went to a teen camp and she's like, yeah, all you did was sit by the wall and just watch everyone. Like, I was always wondering, what are you thinking? And that's my personality. Like, I would rather just sit in a corner and people watch and not have to interact, not talk. So I had to do some personal development and grow myself to become a person that is truly, genuinely interested in people and wanting to hear their stories. And I'm still, I like to say that I am a chameleon. I can be great at conversation now and carrying on things, but it's not my place of I'm not energized by doing that. It's an energy expend for me. So anyway, you don't have to be a huge social butterfly, meet any stranger, talk to them, and then not to say, if you're not that person, don't just ignore that part of you. You need to grow yourself in all areas, but we all have strengths. That was not a strength of mine, but I did work on intentionally growing that. So I am a red-green personality. I love looking at the facts and numbers. I like being in leadership and getting things done. I also am very much into details on product and how this is made. And I remember asking Liz, okay, so where are the ingredients made, or how are they sourced? Are they organic? And she's like, because that's not her. She's like, they're very pure. So it's okay. That's what the call is for, is that it doesn't matter what your personality type. Everyone can do this. Sponsor people that are your weaknesses. I am the behind the scenes. I like doing the studying and the training and all this stuff. And Amy's the people person, likes doing all that, can't stand doing all this other stuff. So we work very well together. So love people where they're at. We see Amy now, we know her story. She was not a rock star at first. She went silver her first week, but then she was silver for almost a year. Because it wasn't her timing yet for her to actually commit and do this and be like, I don't care what people think, I'm going to go ahead. So love people where they're at, be willing to meet them in whatever state they are, and encourage them and support them in whatever that is. Okay. Never underestimate the importance of personal growth because you may have to learn some things before God is going to be able to use you in the capacity that he wants to. So when things come into your life, opportunities come in to learn, take them and use them and apply them. Also, again, don't ever stop growing and working yourself, as in reaching out to people, being intentional about meeting new people, growing your own business, not just focusing on your team, not just focusing on what everybody else is doing. And don't compare your journeys. I saw this quote. I love Cracker Barrel, but they had this great quote there, and I loved it. It said, I am not beautiful like you. I'm beautiful like me. And I want to apply that to our journeys. All of us have a different story to share. So when you're trying to compare yourself to a Liz Spohn, to a Emily Gibson, to a Brooke, you're going to feel incomplete. You're going to not measure up because you're not them. Their journey is not yours, and you need to focus on what God has given you. Quit trying to force yourself into a mold that is not you. That is someone else's journey. That is them. They need to do what God has for them. You need to focus on you, and every day being intentional, praying, Lord, show me what you want me to do today. One of my favorite verses is, see if I can remember it now. I think it's Psalm 41:8, but it talks about make thy way straight before my face. So what the Lord has your path, make that way straight in front of you. Don't be paying attention to everybody else's, what's going on, how fast she ranked up, or oh my goodness, she's been this for so long. How she's stuck, how can I do this? You have no idea what's going on behind the scenes there. You have no idea what kind of sacrifices this person that has gone diamond in a year has had to do for their family. So focus on you, your life, your family, keeping the Lord first, keeping your family second, then having your plexus. And yes, you're going to have to sacrifice. If you want to move fast, there's going to be sacrifices. And know that. So being intentional, keeping your focus on you, never stop building you, reaching out to your people, working you actively, and love people where they're at, because everyone can do this. So now I'm excited to share and introduce my friend Elizabeth, because she's the one. She invited me over. We came over for dinner, and she had her plexus, the very, very first catalog plexus ever made.
It was so cheesy.
On the table. It was so tacky looking.
It was so bad. They've come a long way.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I was so proud of that catalog though. Thank you, Stephanie. Oh, it is such an honor to be on with all of you. Like, I just am so amazed by this team, by each and every one of you. And just like, if you are on this team, you are in an amazing place. You have great uplines. You have a strong bunch of women that want your best. And so like, that's exciting to be a part of. And I learn from these ladies every single day. And so I am blessed to be on the call and to share a little bit of my story with all of you. So my name is Elizabeth Spohn, and I joined Plexus almost 4 years ago, and I can't believe it's been that long. So it'll be 4 years in February. So I joined in February of 2013. And what attracted me to the company was my mom was like, our neighbor started sharing with my mom about the products. And I was like, okay, that's nice. We had tried a lot of different things. We had tried a lot of different health kicks. We'd done, juice fast. We tried it all. And I had never done network marketing. I always dreamed of finding something where you could make residual income, but I didn't know you could do it through network marketing. I always thought if you could just create some type of product that people needed. And I remember being at work, I worked for a ministry for 7 years, and I made $20,000 a year. And it was awesome. It was where God had me. And I chose not to go to college. And so that was where I was at. I also had a side photography business and a side eBay business. And so I had a very busy life, but I had always thought if I could only create something that people needed, then, that way I'm not having to work so much. And so when I was first introduced to Plexus, I heard, our friend shared about her amazing results. I was like, that's nice, but that's not going to work. And so I was skeptical. So, if you have people that are skeptical, it's okay. It's okay to be skeptical, And I tell people that, when I do meetings and stuff, just because it just kind of takes the burden off of them and they realize, oh, I can relax, And so I was skeptical, but I signed up. Mom's like, I trusted my mom. I trusted my friend. And so I signed up, and they said to share on Facebook. And I was like, well, I've barely tasted the stuff, but sure, I'll share on Facebook. And so I did. And so I started sharing on Facebook right away. I was dating a guy from Alaska, which is Carl. And he went to church with Stephanie and Amy back in the day. And he was going to church with Stephanie, and Amy had already moved. And so I flew to Alaska the very next day. And Carl and I knew we were going to get married. And so I was looking for a plan B. I was looking for something to do. And so within my first, few weeks, I went silver. Carl was my first ambassador, and which is kind of fun. And so I went silver the first few weeks, and then I came home from Alaska. I was there for a few weeks, and I remember going to lunch with his boss, who was very skeptical of me, and was going to go, interrogate me. And I told Carl, I was like, we're going to take our pink drink and we're going to go out to eat with them. And while we're eating, we're going to get our water and we're going to mix our pink drink while he's sitting there. And he's going to ask us what it is. And then we're going to share Plexus with him. And so we did. So I was excited. So I hope you guys, I'm just trying to tell you the story so you all can see that I was excited. I didn't know. I just started taking the products. I didn't really know anything about them, but I had excitement. And I think that is so important. And my personality is very blue-yellow. So I am very much a people person. I love people. I love talking to people. And I also have a very big heart because I'm very yellow. So I'll just give everything away. So I have to be careful. I shared right away. And then I came home from Alaska and I started sharing with everybody in our area. So I want you guys to know I live 2 miles from Sonia Dudley, who is, in our upline. And so I'm Sonia Dudley's number 4. So I knew Sonia. I dog sat for her. We went to church with her years before that. And so she had been doing Plexus for, I want to say 6 months before I signed up. And I even saw it on her Facebook. I was friends with her. I saw it on her Facebook and I was like, oh, that looks like, some scam or something. It just wasn't the right timing for me. So I want you to tell you, if you have friends, maybe they're younger than you or something, and you don't give them credit, give them credit. So, because you never know who they know. And Sonia and I, even though we lived 2 miles away, we were in different circles of friends. We were in different community almost. And so I lived in a community with Jarrett and Kristen Abart, Lori Welch, Amber Miller, Shoshana and James Easling, Shalom Bren. Those are all jewels. And so they all told me no. And so when I first started sharing Plexus, I shared with all of them and I talked about it, and they all kind of laughed at me for a good 6 months. And so they would, Kristen intimidated the tar out of me because she's such an ingredient snob. And so I would talk around her about Plexus, but I wouldn't talk to her about Plexus because I was so scared of her. But then I heard that she approved the ingredients. So then I would tell people, oh, well, Kristen approved the ingredients. So then they would believe me. So anyway, you don't have to know everything. But all you have to do is, especially for, someone that's more blue, is I got people to meetings because maybe I didn't know everything, but I knew someone else would. And so that was so important for me in the beginning, is because I didn't understand the compensation plan. I didn't understand the ingredients, but that's okay. So I don't have to have all the answers. I just got them to someone who did know the answers and that third-party validation. So I would take people to meetings and be like, so I would share with them. Anyway, so that's a little bit in the beginning. So I went gold the month I got married, which was 5 months after I joined. And then I went senior gold the following month. I went ruby a few months later, senior ruby 2 months after that. And then I hit emerald in March of 2014, so just over a year after I had joined. And then I was sat at Emerald for 10 months because I went into management mode. And so I had a team, and they were all like, well, how did you get there? You hit Emerald. And they're like, everybody wants to know, what did you do? How did you get there? And I'm like, I don't know. And so in the beginning, 4 years ago almost, there was no Plexus, there was no videos out there on YouTube about Plexus. I think Sonia had a channel and maybe Sarah Marble, but beyond that, there wasn't like there is now. There was no training. We were all like, someone would create a sheet and then they would photocopy it and then we would upload it and scan it to Facebook. And so it's so degraded, and then somebody would write stuff and then that was what we would show someone. I mean, it was really sad. Like, I'm serious. It was sad. And so anyway, but it just shows you that if we can do it, like seriously, anyone can do it. I mean, especially with all the tools and the resources they have now, like it's so exciting each month when they come out with new stuff. And I mean, everything's getting better. They have the shareables now. So the tools that they have now are just unreal, and how far that can take you. So anyway, I got stuck at Emerald for about 10 months and I stopped sponsoring. I stopped talking to people. I still talk to people a little bit, but I literally just went into management mode. I was just trying to survive, and just trying to, answer everybody's questions and do everything for everybody, but I wasn't actually doing anything. And, during that time, I got married. We built a house. I moved to a new state. And so there was a lot of change as well going on, but that's no excuse. And so I sat at Emerald for a while, and then I went to Hawaii, and I remember talking to other Jules, and I remember talking to Brenda Martin, who's a busy mom of 12 kids or some 11, 12 kids. And she's sitting there telling me she sponsored, 3 people that month. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah. And I was like, wow, so you're like working your business. And we were all Emerald together. And so it made me realize, like, I need to get back to work. And so I went home and I got back to work. And after that, and that helped me move from Emerald to Sapphire a few months later. And then I was at Sapphire like a month or two, and then I went to Diamond. So it was 2 years from the time that I joined that I went to Diamond. And you get to Diamond and it's like, you don't get to Diamond and you know it all. You get to Diamond and you're still learning every single day, because we're continual learners and we're always studying to improve and make things better and create a better process for everyone. So I'm trying to think if there was anything else I was supposed to add.
Just like, how has this like dramatically changed your life? I mean, I tell everybody how old you are, how it's changed your life, this opportunity.
And tell them about your house.
Yes. So when I joined, I was 26, and I hit Emerald at 27, and and then I hit Diamond at 28, and I am 30. I just turned 30, which is really scary. And so I just turned 30, and we just paid off so we built our dream home in Alaska. And it was, I remember when we were starting to build our home, and, when I joined Plexus, my goal was $300 a month. It wasn't, I wanted the Lexus. I'm not motivated by money. I'm not red. And so like, you hear the big numbers of money and I'm like, okay, that's nice, but I just want the free car. I just want a Lexus. And, but I was like, if I could make $300 a month, that would change my income. And so, Carl is red and he's motivated by money. And so I continue to grow in the business and we were building our home, and I told him, I was like, we're going to be able to pay our house off with this. And he was like, that's nice, but and it took him a while to see that. And so when I hit Emerald, he was like, wow, he really started paying attention and, noticing more and more. And so we have been working hard to pay off our house. So we just paid that off 2 weeks ago. So that is 2 years instead of 30 years, which is just exciting.
That's amazing. That's so exciting. The amount of freedom, and they're expecting their very first baby.
Yes.
And yeah. So just the blessings are incredible. And I think that's something that we all want you to see And we want you to see that it doesn't matter if it takes you a year or 2 years or 2.5 years or 3 years. It really doesn't matter. And I'll share, I know we're a little short on time, but I'll share a little bit my story. You know, when I started Plexus back in September of last year, September of 2015, I had no idea about the business. I'd never done any network marketing. I was not with any other company. I had no clue about network marketing at all. So I was a network marketing virgin. And I kind of like that I came into it not knowing anything because I didn't come in with any preconceived notions. However, I was a little bit nervous and trepidatious about sharing because I just, you know, you do worry a little bit about what people think about you. So if you don't know me at all, I'm a nurse and my husband's a physician in the community, and we live in a small community. So everybody knows us. They really, really respect my husband, and I wouldn't want to do anything that would bring a bad name to him. And so I wanted to make sure I was attaching myself to something good that I could be proud of. And, you know, I was a little bit worried because I didn't know very much. But like Amy talked about in the beginning, just trusting your friend and your person that brought you into this business and knowing that they have the best intentions for you and that they really want good things for you. And so I trusted her. I started sharing about 2 weeks into the products. So pretty quickly she asked me to post, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. Thinking like, you know, I was a little bit like Stephanie. I did not have a big social media presence. I maybe had 200 friends, a little bit more than you, Stephanie. And maybe I posted once or twice a month. I was not all over Facebook. I wasn't super fun and creative with what I posted. I'm really kind of a boring person, honestly. You know, but I love people. And when I love something, I get really passionate about it. And I would say like I'm a red, green, yellow. So I love people, I love information, and I'm fairly driven and goal-oriented. When I decide to do something, I decide to do it all the way. So I'm very much into commitment. And if you're someone that struggles with commitment, I would tell you right now, decide to be committed to Plexus. If you decide to commit to this, that doesn't mean I'll see how it goes in 6 months, because you've already quit. If you've said, I'll see how it goes in 6 months, you need to commit to the journey, however long it takes you. Commit to yourself, really commit to growing personally, commit to learning the information you need to learn to be successful at this. If you have goals and dreams and you're like, man, I wish I could make $1,000 a month. If I could make $1,000 a month, that would literally change my family's life. I'm here to tell you it is absolutely possible to make $1,000 a month. It's possible to make more than that. Maybe your goal is only $500. Maybe your goal is $5,000. Maybe you want to retire your husband. Maybe you don't because you don't want your husband home. You know, whatever your goal is, it is attainable if you do the steps to get there and if you are coachable and teachable. It's so important to understand in this business that you don't have to do it how your upline did it. I know so many people underneath me that don't want to do it how I did it, and that's totally fine. I respect that. I don't want to do it how Amy did it. That's totally fine. Amy taught me a lot of great tools, but there are things in her business that, you know what, they're just not me. I just can't do it that way. Same thing with Stephanie. She built her business her own way. Liz built her business her way. It is okay to do things your way, how they fit your personality. But I will say, don't use that as an excuse to not learn new tools and to not listen to the suggestions that your upline is giving you. They have been where you are, and they have learned valuable tools that they want to pass to you to help you. That being said, you're going to learn all these different tricks and tips and advice as you watch videos from all these people that have gone before, and you're going to find the things that work for you. I remember early on, maybe I was a senior gold, I don't know, senior gold or ruby, and I watched a video by Sarah Taylor, and it was like a light bulb went off. Aha moment. I would encourage you on this journey to always be learning, always be watching videos, always be doing things to fill your soul spiritually, like Stephanie said. Take care of your spirit, but then take care of educating yourself. And by educating yourself, I don't mean just videos on the ingredients. I mean how to share, how to overcome objections, how to get people to silver in 7 days. how to cold message people. Like, these are skills that you need to learn in this business. And I still watch videos. I don't have time every single day, but every week I probably watch at least 3 or 4 videos. And there are some videos I have watched 3, 4, 5 times. And so the reason I went so fast was a couple of different things. You know, I joined in September, I went silver in October, gold in December, senior gold January, ruby in February, senior ruby in March, emerald in April, I forget, sapphire in June, and diamond in September. So that was my journey. It was exactly 1 year. And I don't want you to look at that and think, gosh, if I'm not following that trajectory, I must be doing something wrong. Like, there's something wrong with me. A couple of things happened for me. Number one, you know, I did throw myself into it. I really threw into learning the ingredients. If somebody asked me, will this help with this condition? I would research that condition and how gut health, blood sugar balance, and inflammation related to that condition. And so I threw myself into learning, into watching videos, and I started sharing regularly on Facebook because that's what Amy told me to do. And so even though I didn't want to do it, and honestly, guys, if I am honest with you, I would be happy to be off of Facebook and only be on Facebook like once or twice a week. That's my personality. But I realized that it's an amazing free tool for advertising and for connecting with people and building relationships. So I purposefully used Facebook to help reach out to people and to connect with people. Number two, I got an amazing power partner, Emily Gibson. Like, she joined me early on and we were running buddies, and we decided, hey, we're really going to do this. And so a lot of our systems that we came up with together. So if you don't have somebody yet like that, it's okay. Hang on. Keep reaching out. You're going to find somebody that you can link arms with and you can be excited with when you enroll somebody new, or you can troubleshoot with together. You can make goals. You can come up with systems. Don't worry. That person will come as long as you are still actively, personally sponsoring people and reaching out to people. So I had the blessing of that early on. But when I got Emily, I didn't stop working my business. I kept personally sponsoring people. I kept helping people get to gold, to senior gold. I threw myself into the business because I really believe in this. And I feel like everything you do has to start with belief. You have to believe in the products. If you don't believe in them, you have to work on that. Read testimonials, talk to your upline, study the ingredients. You have to believe in yourself. And if you're struggling with yourself and your negative self-talk, that can be fixed, guys. Something that a lot of people don't know about me is I have always in my life been a glass half empty person. Always struggled with how I felt about myself. Feeling like I can't really do this. This is not really my thing. My whole entire journey, I've struggled with this, but I have pushed past those fears and through those fears because I felt led to do this. I felt like I know I'm in a good place. I know it's not about me. And so even though I'm scared to death and I feel completely inadequate, I'm going to rely on the Lord to help me to do this. And I'm just going to do it, even though it's hard. I'm just going to do it because I can see the end from the beginning. So that is a strength I have. I can see the end from the beginning. So if you struggle with that, rely on your upline to help you to see the end from the beginning and do those daily steps. To go at the pace that I went at, I did have to really work hard. And so maybe that's something that scares you. Don't let it scare you. Work at your own pace. Fit it into the nooks and crannies of your day. Obviously, as your business grows and you're an emerald, a sapphire, a diamond, maybe your life is going to look different, but maybe to make $30,000 a month, it's worth it to you to work 3 or 4 hours a day. I don't know. I mean, you can decide if that's worth it, right? I think it's worth it. And for my family, the way that it's changed things for us is my husband quit his second job. My husband is on a trajectory to work 2 days a week. That is our goal now. He's going to work 2 to 3 days a week. Prior to Plexus, my kids hardly ever saw their dad. He was working all of the time. And although we had great money because my husband makes good money, our quality of life was not good. So don't be afraid to talk to those people that you think, you know what, they wouldn't be interested. They have everything. They have a perfect life. Their life is comfortable. Don't be afraid to talk to those people because they might be searching for a different way of life. And that was my biggest why. I knew it wasn't about me, so I knew that the Lord wanted me to help other people. And number two, I knew I desperately wanted a different way of life. And so I was willing to pour myself into the business and pour myself into other people and sacrifice temporarily, not go to the beach on Saturdays every day with my kids. That's okay, guys, because I go now. Not go to every soccer game because I had to work. My husband took over cleaning up at night. He took over doing the dishes. He took over putting the kids to bed. And I would just come up and kiss them goodnight, So things had to change in our family, but he bought into it. And so I would say if you're struggling with that, your spouse is not buying into it, it's okay. Eventually they'll come around. You just have to work it into the nooks and crannies of your day and trust the process. And as you get them on board and you get your kids on board, you get your husband on board, and everyone is bought into it, you're going to be able to soar even more. Because in our family, this really is a family business. We make goals together. We get excited about these things together. And that has made all the difference. So, I hope this call, I'm going to end because I know we've been going already for 45 minutes and I know we could all talk all day, but I hope you can see how we are all so different. We have all created a path that works for us. Some of us did it in a year. Some of us did it in 2 years. Some of us did it in 3 years. It does not matter because it's not a race. Do it at a pace that's good for you, but don't be complacent. Don't sit back and wait for things to happen. If you want change in your life and you want something different, be the person that goes out and makes it happen. Be your own rock star. We say that all the time. Be your own rock star until you get these people that are going to run with you, and then run with them and just go with the momentum. Enjoy it. Love on people, and everything will work out in the end. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Have a great night or afternoon, and aloha.